Hey everybody, this is Wally with Fanfiction Classroom, and today we're talking Flash episode Monster 305. This episode goes kind of as predicted, at least by me, where Caitlin runs off to her mom to get help with the ability, controlling her powers, getting rid of them, because she doesn't want to be Killer Frost. But as things progress between her and her mom, you can see the tension building, the anger, the pain that they went through together, and they kind of have a moment together when this guy, Nigel, this doctor who was also working to help Caitlin, tried to take her hostage, or at least hold her in a lab so we can test her and finish his own work so we can get away from her mom. And by doing so, you see that part of her, that Killer Frost, when she nearly kills him. And it was her mom that stopped her. It was her mom that brought her back. It was mom that tried to protect her. I think that's a pretty good moment to have between two estranged family members, a mom and a daughter, where you're able to do such a thing. You also see a similar thing like that between Barry and Julian. Barry tries to make peace after Julian literally goes to their boss and says, "He's been late, he's been breaking rules, being a snitch." But Barry tries to make peace, tries to butter up to him so they could try to build something, try to work on a case. And you find out that this Julian guy, he doesn't like metas because he's a little envious of them. I think he's got a little Lex Luthor going on. Brilliant, looks down on them or hates them because they're not just different, that he's jealous of them. Yet there's a surprising thing in this episode. When Julian comes face to face with the person, it's just a kid creating this monster. It's not a monster, it's a hologram. He's scaring people. Almost kills him, and he kind of has this cathartic experience and where things are different, but he's so happy he didn't hurt anyone. And this pain and relief at the same time. And him and Barry talk about this. They have a moment where they might actually be able to build on that future, where Julian has a little more faith, a little more trust in people, and is less fearful of change and what's going on. We also got to see, at the very end of the episode, Caitlin be warned by her mother that the more she uses her powers, the harder it will be to control and turn back. And as she hears this message, you see this look on Caitlin's face. The eyes go white, and she freezes the entire terminal, like just in a fit of uncontrollable rage. Only for a moment, but you could see how in episode 7 we're getting Killer Frost. She can no longer hold back. The powers are affecting her mentally. The only thing that I hope is that, I know we're having the Killer Frost episode in 307, but I don't want her to stay Killer Frost forever. I've liked Caitlin the way she is. And we did get to see Killer Frost from Earth too. I'm just hoping we get to keep regular old Caitlin after 307, that some way they're eventually able to help her and keep her from becoming permanently Killer Frost. In the next few weeks on The Flash, we'll be seeing some of the consequences of Flashpoint. Episode 7, we all know Kevin Smith is directing the Killer Frost episode. That's one. I think it's episode 6, where Wally starts having dreams about being Kid Flash. And Barry's going to have to come clean with Joe and Iris and Wally about that, what happened, that Wally was nearly killed and all that. And we've also got confirmation that John Diggle from Arrow will be having a conflict with Barry about what he did during Flashpoint, changing the timeline and affecting his family, specifically and children. Besides alchemy recreating the villains and people with abilities from the Flashpoint timeline, the effect that Flashpoint has had on his friends and allies, those consequences are finally catching up to Barry in a real way where he just can't push it aside or hide it from everyone. But his friends and family, it seems, are finally going to understand and experience the consequences and understand that these consequences are a result of Barry's action, whether it be Killer Frost or Wally getting his powers or even continuing with alchemy and the villains. I don't know how he's going to move past it. I don't know how they're going to move past it.
Okay, let's talk Tom Cavanagh's Harrison Wells from Earth 19. Unlike last season where you had a toned-down version of Wells, socially inept and kind of a dick but a good guy, and the psychopathic reverse Flash Harrison Wells from season 1. But now we have a total wild card. The very first thing you see him do when he comes to the breach is pretend to be an alien, and that was a pretty lame joke. Tom Cavanagh told comicbook.com that the character was developed to bring some more comedic power to the Flash, but in a way that wouldn't completely overshadow the high-stakes, life-threatening, thrilling story arcs of the show. Just because he's funny and likable doesn't mean he's on the level. Tom Cavanagh also said that the Earth 19 Harrison Wells is a bit of a con man, and the same element of can you trust him or not is there, but in a different way. A superhero works best with conflict, large and small, and I'm happy to drop off these little fire bombs here and there. This is one more fire that they have to put out, and is it better to extinguish it completely or keep the embers burning?
We also got to see Earth 19's Harrison Wells exposed as a fraud. I mean, literally, the guy didn't know how to do anything. And he's literally this idea man for Star Labs over there, and he was kind of exposed as actually not knowing any of the science, and everybody just realized he's a con man. And that he lied about doing the equation, lied about helping save the world from metahumans on Earth 19, that his entire company, he's just the face man, the idea guy. But they gave him a couple weeks now to prove himself, and we don't know how that's going to go. Overall, I thought this was a good episode with character development. The new character, Dr. Harrison Wells from Earth 19, the lying con man guy, and we also got some real personal connection between Barry and Julian. I think that's going to be a more interesting dynamic as they grow closer, or not always in competition. I think seeing how they progress is... Alright, I want to hear your opinions on the episode, and this is it for Fanfiction Classroom. Class dismissed.